Hi, I am Rachel from Ray K Books, and this is Jodi Meadows. She is the author of Incarnate, her first trilogy. I am so excited. Hello, Jodi.
Hello.
So, can you tell me what is Incarnate about?
It's about the only girl who is new in a world where everybody else is perpetually reincarnated. And she has to figure out why she was born and what happened to the person she replaced. On her 18th birthday, she decides to leave this very abusive mother and strike out on her own and figure out all these big life questions. Unfortunately, she has a terrible sense of direction and starts walking in the wrong direction, and she ends up getting chased by Sylph, these shadowy monsters that want to burn her. And she ends up on a cliff because bad things happen to people who live in books. And she has this choice, like, do I want to get burned up, and that could possibly take a long time and be very painful, or do I want to jump into this frozen lake and, die another horrible different way? So I'm always curious what other people would choose. I don't know what I would choose.
I
But,
choose going into the lake rather
yeah.
than being burned.
Yeah, well, good things happen when you fall into lakes in my books, apparently. Because even though, it was very horrible for a moment, there was a nice hot guy roaming around the woods, and he rescued her. And he befriended her in spite of all her attempts to not be friends. And they are starting to work together to help figure out her life questions and everything. So.
That's great. I loved the book. 5 out of 5 stars. It's so original. Like I've never read anything like it anywhere else, and it's really refreshing. So I guess my first question is, how long have you been writing?
I have always wanted to be a writer. I started writing when I was in 7th grade. I'm not sure how old you are at that point, but I do remember 7th grade. My teacher read us Wait Till Helen Comes by Mary Dallingham, and there was something about that book that made me realize that people, like actual humans, could write books, and they didn't just appear on shelves like magic, which is what I had always imagined before. So there was something about that, and I wrote my first story, which was a shameless copy of Wait Till Helen Comes. But that's how you learn, by shameless copying.
Are we
And,
going to see that anytime soon?
oh gosh, no. Wait Till Helen Comes. It's amazing.
That's on the
So,
back burner.
yeah. Whenever everybody has forgotten Wait Till Helen Comes, I'll come out with my book called Wait Till Somebody Else Comes.
Okay, so my second question was what made you want to be a writer, but that I'm guessing, like, what was your inspiration of becoming a writer?
I've always loved stories, and I think I've always been a storyteller. My sister, who is only a couple of years younger than I am, we always used to make up stories together and, imagine things, and our Barbies would go to outer space and all this kind of stuff. We always had stories, so it seemed natural.
So, do you think, like, with your sister, like, do you go to her for or like ideas, or is she like your buddy when it comes to reading your drafts?
Not anymore, no. She does love reading my books, and she's only read the ones that will be published, though. So she read the Incarnate trilogy. She's already read book 3. I'm very sorry. Um,
Someday.
She likes to wait until things are just about ready to be published, and then get in ahead of everybody else. So we talk about writing. Sometimes she's very interested in how it's going for me, but we don't really do a lot of critique back and forth. She's not a writer. She just loves reading.
Good. Good. So you share a path. Like, do you guys have the same interests in books, I guess?
Some. There are some books that she's interested in that I'm not, and there are some books that I love and that she's not really interested in. So she loves, like, paranormal romance and stuff. Her favorite, I think, is Tara Lynn Childs,
Yeah.
and she yelled at me when she realized that Sweet Venom was a trilogy and that she had read the first one before all 3 were out.
Oh,
My
no.
fault somehow.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you consider the most challenging about writing a novel or about writing in general?
Oh gosh, writing in general is challenging.
Yeah.
Um, finishing a novel, I think, is probably the first hurdle that most people have to get over. And every time I start a new story, I am just like, gosh, how does this ever work? Have I ever written a book before? It's just like there are so many words. There's so much that has to happen. It has to all make sense. I don't understand how this can possibly happen. How does anybody write a novel? Somehow it always ends up happening. I'm working on, I don't know, like my 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around there, finished novel. Incarnate was number 17, so I usually just count up from there.
Nice. Okay. Well, my next question is how important do you think villains are in a story?
Not a lot gets done without villains, I think. They're very good at being antagonists. It's their function. Of course, they don't really see themselves as antagonists or villains. They often think that they're doing the right thing or have good reasons for doing what they're doing. So I think not a lot of story happens without some kind of tension.
Who's your favorite villain?
Oh gosh, I have a lot of favorite ones, but oh gosh, what is her name? The cat lady in Harry Potter.
I
She
don't
has
remember.
cats. She's in. I don't remember which book.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I didn't read
Harry
them.
Potter fan. She likes the cat. She has like the cat plates and oh, what is her name? I'm sure that somebody out there is like shouting it right now. I'm sorry, all the dedicated Harry Potter fans. I'm a really bad Harry Potter fan, but her.
Okay, you're on the spot. It's my fault.
I just think that she is like so deliciously evil. She pretends like she's so nice and she cares, and then she's like, you know, plotting. She's awful. I love it.
So, what books have most influenced your life?
There were a lot. I think most books tend to leave a mark, usually, hopefully for the better. But some of the early books, of course, were The Wait Till Helen Comes and Robin McKinley's Dimmer series, The Blue Sword and The Hero and the Crown, and Tamara Pierce's books, The Lioness Quartet and The Immortals Quartet. All of those books were books that just inspired me and made me realize that I could write about anything I wanted. They opened my mind in a new way that I hadn't realized that, you know, stories could be about, you know, these fantasy worlds with magic things happening and girls could be the hero, and it was really cool just getting to read those as a teen.
And who is your favorite character of all time?
All time?
All time. Like, if there's so many, so how about just like the first that comes to mind?
Oh, I have a special place in my heart for. Can I pick two? I'm gonna pick two because they're in the same book. For Rachel and Logan and C.H.A. Redwine's Defiance, I just have a special place for them. They're adorable and so emotional. I love them. I have something on my shirt.
Yeah, I haven't read that book, but it's on my to-read list.
Oh my gosh, read it.
You recommend it then, I guess?
I promise you will love it.
Good. I hold you to that.
Okay.
Okay, so if you were stranded on a desert island, what character, any character, would you want by your side on any book?
One who's really good at survival. I actually have some real people I would like. But character-wise, maybe Lynn from Mindy McGinnis's Not a Drop to Drink. I think she knows what's going on in the survival area. And I really need somebody to take care of me on a desert island. I would not be helpful at all.
What about one of your characters from the Incarnate series?
Steph.
Steph?
Definitely not anybody else. I think Anna would be awful at it. Sam would be awful at it.
He would just like write music the whole time.
Yeah.
Just in his own little corner.
Yeah, the waves sound amazing. Let's write it down.
Yeah, right. Let's make it music. Where's my piano on this desert island? Okay, so What are your current writing projects now?
I'm working on my next duology. It's called The Orphan Queen, is the first one. And I'm working on book 2 right now while I'm waiting for my editor to get back to me on book 1. So it's a little scary getting out there with something else, but I really am enjoying it.
Is it going to be a trilogy or just a standalone?
Just 2 books. So The Orphan Queen and its sequel.
Okay. And do you have any advice for writers?
Finish your first book. And then finish your second book. And then just keep on writing. Because it takes a long time sometimes. If your first book doesn't sell or get an agent, it's fine. Just write another book. And if your second one doesn't make it, that's fine too. Just keep on working. Incarnate was my 17th finished manuscript. I brought them out. Hang on. This is my visual aid of rejections.
I'm nervous.
I actually...
Oh my gosh.
I asked a friend recently who is a teacher at a school. Well, no, okay, back up. I have a friend who, as a visual aid, laminated some of her rejections. And she would take them to school events and, like, unroll this thing. And it was very dramatic. And I was like, that is so cool. I could have had, like, quite the unrolling with my rejections. And so I mentioned it to my teacher friend, and I said, can I, borrow your laminator? It was the end of the school year, and I had some library visits coming up in my area. And she was like, yeah, there's nothing, nobody else is going to use it. You can have it all. And I was like, great. So I spent, like, all morning printing out my email rejections, too. And
how many pages are there?
How many do you think there are?
I don't know. I thought maybe you would count.
I have not counted.
Hundreds.
Too lazy to count. Also, that's a very high number. So she said, well, let me check on the lamination stuff, and I'll see how much there is. I said, okay, that sounds fair. And there's a ferret having a party under my chair.
Can we see the ferret?
Let's see.
Ferret time.
There he is. Playing in a bag. So she said, okay, I have checked on the lamination stuff. How many pages do you think you have? And I said, oh, I don't know. Maybe 350 to 400, maybe a few more than that. I don't know. I haven't counted. And she said, there's not enough lamination stuff. Like, maybe in the world. And I was like, oh, great. So since then, I have just carried this around with me, and I have, like, offered to let other people hold it, but I think I need to get...
You really treasure this thing.
I do. I treasure it, and I feel like I actually need to get, like, some kind of waiver. Like, if you pull a muscle while you're holding my rejections, I'm sorry, I can't be held accountable, or I can't pay your hospital bills for that. So.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of rejections in here, and that's just part of the process, is getting rejected. And I am actually glad that I have so many rejections, that I have, the story to tell people about how difficult it was to get published, and that I can show them this physical thing. It's like, yeah, this is what rejection looks like. And it doesn't matter how many manuscripts you write, as long as you keep writing more, as long as you don't give up.
I like that advice.
Yay, thanks.
Wow. So what characters of yours do you connect with the most?
I connect with all of them a little bit, I think. Except I don't want to connect with the evil ones, but with the main characters, especially Anna and Sam, since they are the main characters, I connect with them a lot. Anna is very insecure. Mm-hmm. And she feels new and, like a little bit weird all the time. And I think that's a pretty universal feeling. I think a lot of us feel like that. Yeah. And she gets some of her need to do well in certain things. There's a scene in Incarnate, she kind of blows up because she wants to have this she wants to be really good at music,
Mhm.
and she needs to practice. She needs these rejections that, you know, she is not, she thinks that she shouldn't have them, though. She wants to be perfect the first time, and that's me. I like that too. I hate like having to improve or, you know, not being good at something the first time. So,
Right.
um, yeah.
And what I like about the main character is she is very insecure, yes, and but she's not whiny. And that's what I think authors, when they have, characters like Anna, they get whiny and it's just, but Anna does not. She's a strong character throughout the whole book. And I love that aspect. I love that she has problems, because of who she is and how she grew up, but she doesn't let that hold her down.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you think so.
Well, yeah, and she makes really smart decisions. I have blogger friends where I'm just like reading a book and I'm like, why would she do that? That makes no sense. Because like sometimes their insecurities make them do something that I don't know, that are just confusing. And I think that Anna is a really well thought out character. I That's why I think I connect with Anna as well. And same with Sam. They're like a perfect match together, and yeah, they're written very well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So what is your favorite book turned movie?
I think the one that I think was probably best done was The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I loved the movie. I loved the book. And I thought the movie it was close enough to the book, and it was very true to the book in a lot of ways. My sister yelled at me, because again, my fault, about the Mockingjay pin and where it came from. But I loved it. Like, I loved what they did with like this sportscaster thing and explaining some of the world building that we would not have gotten in that medium otherwise.
Yep, that's very true. Are you going to see the midnight showing of the next one?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm too. I'm going to see it for sure. So if you could be best friends with any of your characters, who would it be?
Maybe Sarah, who is Anna's best friend. She's very fun, she's very thoughtful, and she has the honey, so I like honey.
So next question is, what do you do in your spare time?
I knit and I have these ferrets that are still running around my room. I'm sorry. Let's see. I have some examples of knitting. Just because I don't have enough to do, I have knit some of my characters.
Did you name her?
Oh, this is Anna.
That is
You can tell
Anna.
by her crazy hair. Where are we? There we go. Look, see? Totally Anna.
Totally. I see the resemblance.
Yeah. And Sam.
I mean, hold on. Let's take a look. This.
Yeah.
Hold her up again. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. It's right there.
Right.
Yep.
And I have a dragon. And these guys tend to go on tour with me. So, I got something else. There we go. They go on tour with me a lot. So they've been many places. We've been to Boston and New York and California.
Nice.
They're well-traveled knitted characters. My agent's boss knows that I love yarn, and we bonded over it whenever we met a few years ago. So when she was in the London Book Festival or Fair or something, she saw a book, and she was like, I thought of you when I saw this, so she had my agent send it to me. And my agent said, I think I have an idea, but I think you're going to figure it out when you see it. So she didn't tell me what it was. Okay. I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, I know more work. I have a lot to do. I have a book coming out.
Yeah.
But she sent it to me, and I opened it up, and it was a book called Knit Your Own Royal Wedding. This was in 2011, so guess what was going on then? Like, I do know what to do with it. And so I knit my characters using some of the patterns from there. and some of their clothes and stuff. And the dragon wasn't there. Apparently there are no dragons in royal weddings. I had to find that.
Oh, weird.
I know.
Really?
A little disappointed to find that out, but
Yeah.
so I knew exactly what to do. So I knit my characters, and I put them in various places in my house, made them pose with my books, and I also made a knitted trailer. I just had this like image in my head of like some dramatic music, dramatic cue cards, and these tiny little knitted characters. So.
Are they kind of like your inspiration at some point?
Sometimes when I get upset at them, I just like twist their heads around. I don't know if you would call that inspiration or not.
Maybe like voodoo it a little bit? I don't know. It kind of sounds like voodoo a little. So, who is your inspiration?
I have a lot of inspirations. I don't know that I could really say any one person. There are a lot of people who've been incredibly generous and kind and just so smart, and they tell me so many things and help me learn. I have a lot of great people in my life. I've been very blessed. So
Oh, great.
I can't name one person. I feel really guilty.
No, they understand. So the next 3 questions are going to be about teams, okay?
Okay.
Team number 1, are you Team Edward or Jacob?
Team Bella.
Team Bell? No, that's cheating.
Let's move on.
It's okay, Team Bella. Number 2, Team Gale or PETA?
Team Cinna.
Nice.
I think he's awesome.
Number 3, Team Jace or the other one, Simon?
I don't know that book as well. Team that swirly vortex thing. I think that was really cool.
Okay. That doesn't make sense, but that's okay. I'll let you have it. So, what are you reading right now?
I am partway through Maggie Stiefvater's The Dream Thieves and loving it.
Oh, nice!
Yeah,
I got that at ALA. I really liked it.
Yeah.
So now it's time for the Twitter questions. Yay!
Yay! Hi, Twitter!
People tweeted questions to you, and one of them is a part of the book of the Incarnate series.
Mm-hmm.
Is the whole entire thing is that people have these souls that are being reincarnated, and so that's kind of like the basis of everything. So, do you believe in souls?
I do
that
believe
people
in
have souls?
Yes.
You do.
I believe in souls.
Okay. Second question. All 3 covers of the Incarnate series are amazing. Did you partake in the design?
I actually have a story about the design.
Yeah.
And let me get my next visual aid. So when I was, just newly sold, and my editor was like, let's discuss covers. And I said, that sounds great. I have all kinds of cover ideas. Where's my pictures? There we are. And here's my cat down there.
You have a cat and a ferret.
I have all kinds of cover ideas, and she's like, okay, well, what do you want? How do you envision this book? And I said, oh, I'm so glad you asked. So I showed her. Ooh, I don't know if this is gonna work.
Yeah, that looks like Shiver, the Shiver cover.
By Maggie Stiefvater.
Yep.
And Divergent, and oops, that's wrong thing. But I do actually love that cover. Where am I looking? Is that it? No. Is that it? No. Okay.
Come on, Jodi, be prepared.
Anyway, so I showed her like Shiver and Divergent and Pegasus, which is actually behind me, by Robin McKinley, and Eon by Alison Goodman. And I love these covers because they're so big and different and inspiring, and I think they're amazing, and I would love something like that for my book cover. But honestly, I trust, like, whatever you guys want to do, I trust you. The only thing that I would request is that we don't have like a giant girl face on the cover. And it's not because I don't love those covers, it's just because there are a lot out there. And I don't really see how, you know, they could do anything that's different or unique. So I don't want my book to look like all the other books.
Mm-hmm.
And my editor was like, "That's great. I have a lot of face covers anyway, so I don't think you're in danger of getting one." And I said, "Good, good, good." And so I heard about things like this that were coming and like different ideas. And then a couple of months later, my editor called me and she said, "So we've been working on your cover," and then she said it in like this incredibly sweet voice. My editor is a doll. And
that's when you know something's going to happen.
Yeah, and she said that I hope you'll keep an open mind. We're all really excited about this cover, and I think it's going to be great. So everybody thinks that's really really good, and I was like, this is really like, why do I have to keep an open mind? But okay. So she sent the email and she hung up. And I am one of those people, I will read the email first before I scroll down to see the picture. So there I was, like already a little bit nervous, and her email started talking about like getting a model for all of this, and then doing a casting call and getting headshots, and like that's where I stopped. I was like, headshots? I thought we had this talk. But then I scrolled down and I saw this, who is not my model, but this was the comp they sent me. It was the first image of Incarnate that I saw. And like I was just stunned. I was like, that's it. This is it.
Right.
The colors, the butterfly mask, it looks otherworldly. It looks so amazing. And it's still like big and iconic because of the mask. Yes, it's a face cover. And yes, it's exactly what I said I don't want. But it turned out to be exactly what I didn't know I wanted it. So over the course of the next couple of months, I got to see, I keep getting this glare.
Here, I have this.
Yeah. So I got to see like various incarnations of Incarnate. So I was just really, really happy with how it turned out, and I wasn't expecting something so amazing, but
so with this one, this isn't a butterfly. What does this signify and on her eyes?
Those are blue roses, or petals.
Oh, they're blue roses.
Yes,
okay.
They're blue rose petals. And so the major theme of Asunder, or the major symbol, I guess, is blue roses, and they're unique, and sometimes what they ended up being, and you can see this in the first couple of lines of Incarnate, so it's not a spoiler, was very disappointing to everybody. Like everybody said, no, they're not blue, they're purple.
Right.
And then I have this.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
And when I saw this cover, like I was in like a store and I almost dropped my iPad because I saw it.
So what's on her eyes? Or do I have to read the third one in order to?
No, you can see.
Feathers?
I'm not really good at this backwards thing. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Feathers. So it's a little hard to see on the screen, but they're on fire, and there's a nice big flame right there. So they're burning
from the Sith,
and they're very thematic feathers. So I'll let you.
Is it the same model over and over again? It is.
Yes. Okay. So I have a model story.
Okay.
My editor said, here we have chosen this gorgeous model for you, and I was like, oh, okay, good, because by this time I loved my cover comp, and I was very excited to see what they would do with it. And so she sent me this picture of this gorgeous girl, and she's like, here's your model. I was like, oh, she's perfect, I love her. I didn't know anything about her, but we had a very deep connection when I saw her. And then my editor said, great, I'm glad you like her. The photo shoot is next week. So next week rolled around, and my editor emailed me, and she said, so your model has flown out of town. She's gone.
Oh, no!
But fortunately, they had a second model, like a backup in case, and they called her, and she came right away to do it, and it's good because I love her better, and we have a very deep connection.
Good. Yeah, she's very beautiful.
She is really pretty. Like, I'm
So
so
it's 7:30 now,
okay.
which means it is nearing the end.
Oh no.
Um, I know, very sad. So one more question. It's a
Okay.
Twitter question. So Anna is such a unique character. Was she based off, or does she remind you of anyone you know?
She's not based off of anybody. I think she is a little bit more symbolic of everybody's fears of being new and fears of feeling alienated and their insecurities. Everybody knows what it's like to have those feelings,
Hmm.
and so she's. I hope that she's like universally accessible. But I never base people off of real people. It's kind of weird to me. So.
And you also said you have a novella,
Mhm.
Sam's. So can you tell me just like a small synopsis of that in your own words?
It is about Sam's life 5,000 years before all the events in Incarnate have taken place. So technically, it is a prequel, and you could read it before you read Incarnate, but it will spoil the end of Asunder for you. So it's on Goodreads as 2.5, because that is where I feel that you should probably read it. Although you can read it at any point in the thing. So.
Will it enrich our experience in order to get to the third book, or does it not? Does
You
not
can
do
you
anything?
can read the trilogy without reading the novella, but I mean, if you like Sam, it's definitely worth reading. There's 130 pages of Sam in there, and there are some parallels between his early life and Anna's life that he won't remember or know about. So you have to be very observant to see them. And nobody has really caught a couple of things. Like, I'm waiting for somebody to say, hey, was that on purpose?
Right.
If you see them, let me know.
I will, because I'm going to read it. I'm definitely reading it. I don't know why I haven't yet. So now we conclude. So for everybody who's watching, we are going to do a giveaway. This live chat is going to be a YouTube video. I'm going to have to upload it onto a channel called Ray K Books. And in order to win, Jodi is going to give away signed bookmarks and
Stickers and
stickers
stickers, and I have a book plate.
and a book plate. Yes, so she's giving away signed swag, and in order to win that, you need to subscribe to Ray K Books, comment on the video, and follow Jodi on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, that's okay, don't worry about it, but it will earn you extra points to follow her on Twitter. And this will go for exactly 1 week. So this will end, let me check right here. This will end on the 21st, Monday the 21st. So yeah, that's all you need to do is subscribe, comment, and follow Jodi. And thank you so much, Jodi, for doing this interview. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, me too.
Thank you. And the last book of the New Soul will come out in January, and I can't wait. I will do a review for everybody here, and I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.